consider banning out the Kimi because with the Kimi, with those two heroes, then it's definitely suitable and they get the Kimi.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is crazy. I mean, yeah, pretty much going in from Team Liquid Philippines itself, they have their own sustain. They have their way to actually build up all their momentums from the front side or even from the early games, because we see how it was from the first draft. They were a little bit more dependent on the mid game because they want to make sure that the late game they have the most intensity to be surviving, to be sustaining the longest, but it doesn't actually secure them the win because again, Team Terra Queens, they provided so much damage to the point they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. I think at this point for okay, Team Liquid bans out another marksman here. I was thinking if they might want to ban Badang as the added layer actually for Terra Queens in terms of crowd control. So with Gatot up their sleeves, Badang is great, even Lapo is great. I mean, they used it earlier in game number 1.
Honestly, very good idea on the carry ban because right now for Terra Queens, they need someone to shred the front line. And looking at the lineup, they don't really have a lot of shred at this point. Betting up the Irritail as well as Moskov kind of shows to me that they might want to go for that Granger, you know, taking out all the counters. So it will be interesting to see if they can really pull it off because without any shred for the front line, it might get difficult.
Oh, definitely. But then again, I feel like this is where the fun begins for Team Terra Queens, right? Because they've already have so much damage, and then if they added even more for their goal laner, this is going to give even more tougher situation for Team Liquid as well. Chantel, any thoughts on the last ban itself?
I was thinking actually to ban another marksman hero. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Bruno.
Oh,
or X-Borg actually for true damage. This is actually nice for Terra Queens if they get it, but it's gonna be 1-1. Okay, 1-1 for them. Since you don't really want to have a slot in your equipment just for the Winter Truncheon if you're a Phobius and even for Uranus. So yep, we have the Granger this time around for Terra Queens. Now this opens up the idea for Badang and Lapu-Lapu for Terra Queens. Now for TLPH, you have Uranus as a jungle. You need a roam.
Yeah. Personally, for me, if Team Liquid doesn't have the proper damage profile, there's a lot of good EXP laners for Terra Queens here. I'm even thinking of something like the glue, because then it's like you just won't have enough damage to deal with that. So I don't know. Personally, for me, I kind of feel like Terra Queens, they already got a very good start in the draft.
Oh, they are. They definitely reading really good on the drafting wise of Team Liquid itself. Again, they have all the burst damage. They have all the damage they need to actually pull through. And again, we talked about how Granger is one of the really good picks coming in from Terra Queens itself. But Team Liquid picking up Matilda as well as a Wraith.
If they pick up something like a glue, I don't think Team Liquid has enough. Yeah, there you go. Almost like I've been doing this for years now. Any final thoughts?
I think in terms of easier execution, definitely it's going to be Terra Queen's side because if you're Matilda, you have to consider, is it advisable for me to dive against 3 marksman heroes?
Thank you very much, Chantel, as well as Pasha, Bunny. Personally, I really like Terra Queen's draft, but hey, maybe it's different for our casters. So, Athena and Mirko, get ready for game 2.
Thank you so much, panel. I do agree with the draft. Quite a bit of surprise there for TLPH, but for Terra Queens, I'm liking that most of the time it's much more easy to execute, right? But let's head on over to our game number 2. Welcome to the Land of Dawn for the battle third between Terra Queens versus TLPH.
Let's get right into it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too big of a fan of the Uranus jungle, personally.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they utilized it as flex, but then they showed it a bit too early, like the flex pick. There were so many marksmen available, yet they went for the Phobius. I understand why you want to go for the Phobius, but I think, like, especially in this series, we haven't really seen it contested, not even in game 1.
Yeah.
I wonder why it was so prior for them to get it in first phase. Why did they utilize the Uranus flex a bit longer, you know?
It's like, we understand, but still kind of a scenario, right?
Yeah.
For TLPH, I do agree with the casters that for the first up, yes, it doesn't mean comfort equals win. You also have to think out your execution. A bit too messy to my liking for the macro, especially on the objectives earlier. And with the adjustment onto the draft as well, as we mentioned, even if it isn't a comfort, but you have to consider the lineup, the matchup. Like, happening right now, Kimi versus Zetian. Definitely a Zetian will be on the downside.
Oh, but we did see the opposite of that in game one. Luna Lin has just been able to win out the matchup. When she was on the Zetian, she was winning against the Kimi. Now she's on the Kimi and she's winning against Saishi on the Zetian.
Because the jungler right now for TLPH is much too busy to somehow accumulate all that she can, whilst Rui, on the other hand, could just assist Luna Lin on the mid lane once she crosses that river, right? So a bit of a different adjustments here. Looking at the emblem builds as well here for the side of the LPH. Some more of a mixture here for the sustainability for Ramisi, and as well as additional movement plus the rupture here for both the Matilda and Zaishi here. Rome mid wants to be strong enough, but will it be enough versus Terra Queens?
Yeah, Turtle 1 is definitely like super high prio right now for both these teams.
Yeah.
TLPH should have a bit of an edge coming into it. Great Dark Wave landing on Luna Lin. But they let go of the neutral objective. Dive gets mounted, not brought back just yet. Palang gets away here, pops in a spread.
Okay.
And this is not bad. Dark Wave bringing two members back. This is going to be the AOG. Cancelled out. AOG again. We'll find it this time around. Not even trade just yet. It's 1-0. First blood to TLPH.
Yeah, a bit too dragging, as you mentioned. But still, for Turkins, they're having a hard time with this tanky composition. A different approach.
Double and Dark Wave, one more time landing on it. Hlang taken very low, one last stomp on it. That's giving the Circling Eagle to pick up another TL. Early game, Turtle 1.
And even Kla was that far away from her own lane. Even if it isn't what we see every day, but as long as it's working for TLPH, they will take it, right? And adjusting to what their lineup really calls for, more on bouncing around the juggling rather, what Luna Lin and Langlina has to offer. And this is the kind of aggression that you're confident just because Ramisi isn't left vulnerable with this Uranus versus to what she was using for game number 1. A different approach, but more so for TLPH, they're winning on the early.
Yeah. I think early game, I kind of expected TL to have a bit of an edge just because of the Phobius and the XP, and that's what we saw again.
Yeah.
TQ, they did a good job of stopping the first turtle from being taken, from getting blitzed, but then they stayed in the team fight a bit too long. Like, they actually committed into the fight.
Yeah,
they gotta respect Daiki on the Phobius, man, because there's a reason we see Phobius, at least in the group stage, all the way to the initial parts of the knockout stage, prioed all throughout. Phobius is almost a Turtle 1 guarantee.
It is, and actually with the Dark Wave, it really matters the most here for TLPH Daiki. Because considering the fact that all she needs is somewhat wait for other members of TQ to get close enough and to top those Infernal Pursuits, plus she has this ability to somewhat deny be the terror, the Terror Queens. Oh, deserves. Right now, purple buff being contested.
A bit too late there for Rui to go for it. Nothing poke over. Rui and Ku getting stunned, the Dark Wave landing. Perfect setup for the neutral objective that's going to be spawning in 7 seconds. Both red trees used up. Rui now on the orange buff, but it does seem like TL want to continue to invade. Ku
They do.
secures the green camp. AOG locks Zaishi down. Now they're going to go for the damage. Luna Lin doing damage over to Zaishi. Picks up the kill, but now gets caught by the Zaman Force. Jumping in with the Kodo dash. That's Circling Eagle over, but the Mountain Shocker catches Claw, stops her in the tracks. Palang still able to evade. Ramisi doing some damage, jumping back in again as Luna Lin tries to melt her down, but she's a bit too tanky. Rui caught in the Dark Wave, has to trace backwards. That's Palang walking up with the spreads.
And get more of the damage and numbers here for game number 2. And looking about on the long-term adjustment here for TLPH, on the extended TPIs, yes, they do win, but they also have to take cautious and take precautions onto what Rui is doing. Because right now, even if that is just a 0-0 on their DA, but still, if she is still to recon with, if you are TLPH.
Terra Queens, it just comes down to them farming now. It's kind of strange to see Terra Queens losing the early game. Massive dark wave from Daiki to catch them and to just open up some vision. Romisi, despite being on Uranus, is still split pushing. Like, the utility jungle, still playing like an assassin. No worries here. And it's good, because Uranus is kind of a utility hero that can do that.
Yeah, and she could actually be somewhat kind of independent, which is what we are talking about earlier, even on the panel. That most of the time, she just to do her job, being left alone, but she needs that extra survivability as long as she doesn't give the numbers here for TQ. See Koshi being cornered.
Soju able to flicker out now. Zaman force with the dash. Just Ramisi able to pick up the kill. Clado, a bit of miscoordination there. No one's up to 10. Isolated. Daiki might just fall here. Oops. Gets away with the help of the guiding wind. Luckily, they've got that Mathilda. OG locks her down, though, and is going to be the slam. Disappearing. Luna Lin, another immobilization.
TQ slowly catching up to the face here for TLPH. Right. By Cloud being left behind, we do understand what Daiki was doing, just keeping Ruby out of the clash that they were attempting to do. But leaving your gold laner defenseless is a bit of a question mark here for TLPH. And now TQ, with that solo takedown, is able to finally turn the Titan to their favor. It's going to be the Dark Wave. A bit of a mission here for TL.
Big plays, Nike. Jumps into the back now. Skoshi kiting back. Rui, way too aggressive. Gets punished for overextending. Lang stunned up, has the mount, but it will still be a kill. Soju is the one to pick up the kill. TL back on track.
They're both the kind of team that if they see an error, they quickly punish that.
Gotcha. All G.
Yeah. And for TLPH, that was a very close call there for Kla as well. But looking at our SMB goal difference, most of it doesn't really have that huge gap as well, because Terra Queens actually managed to somehow negate what TLPH has to offer onto the early phasing of the game. And as we mentioned, we are not used to seeing Terra Queens being the one onto the downside, onto the early phasing, right? They get most of their clashes, they get most of their ganks as well, but that isn't happening right now because of the adjustment here for TLPH. And looking at our instant replay, you have a nice catch here for Lunelin and Langrina, but when the damage as well onto the mid lane here after instant replay as well. A very nice call here by Ku with the AOG, but still
Mikey. It's a two-man dark wave there, but it is going to be chain CC down. Has to flicker out, but gets mounted, brought back to the team, and it will be Luna Lin to pick up the kill now with the Mountain Shocker, locking Ramisi down. The guiding wind grants her a second life by getting her away. Purple buff secured by Ramisi, mid lane prio. It's up to, it's Terra Queens.
Turkish is just sick of TLPH just setting each and every ground where they should clash, right? They're like, oh well, we should just start off with a very aggressive note here. Lord being taken down.
Yeah, this is big. Line goes in. That's a traction pulse too. A full lockdown, but the AOG didn't land. Ramisi brought back to the team by the slam, and Luna Lin goes for the laser shot. Sakoshi secures the neutral objective. Claw getting gunned down by Luna Lin. Gets caught in the dark wave and will be punished for it. But no, she has to flicker out. Lang able to peel away. Now in front of pursuit. One more time over to Lang. But Terra Queens know they've got the win already. They got a Lord to play with Sakoshi.
They did.
All alone in the mid lane, deciding to stay there. Flickers out, but Ramisi punishes her for overextending.
I was just about to commend TQ here onto their Lord take, but a bit too messy, a bit too oversaying.
Cool.
The lane.
Revitalize goes in, sustains interaction pulse, doesn't bring anyone back. Cloud picks up a kill. The Lords of Terror Queens, but the win to Liquid.
I was about to say that TQ did a great job on the zoning of members of TLPH and getting the Lord, plus interrupting that messy initiations there for TLPH. But that just isn't happening. But what's happening right now, Ramisi finally being taken down here by Lunalin and Rui. Bit of a hefty bounty there, Mirko, and as well for CQ. They still get most of the advantage onto the overall macro. But what they don't notice is that there are some glimpses of lapses here onto Sakoshi's position, right? You don't want to give those kills onto TLPH just so they could come back from this deficit.
I don't know, man. Like, TQ had the Lord. They had what's going on?
They really did.
Okay, but why was Sakoshi so far off and so far alone?
She was too hyped up to actually
overhyped.
pour down the
Definitely.
turret, right? I do agree that they could have just slowly backed away, waited for the Lord to march onto the top lane. And so far, looking at the flame shot as well here for...
We got a description of flame shot.
Yeah. Good to know. Thank you for the refresher. But here for TLPH needs a refresher on what do they really want to accomplish. A bit too messy here onto what they want. Is it the objective? Is it the kills? Or do you just want to waste the resources here for Lunalin? They chase it down.
Circling Eagle, locking her down now. Huang walks up, trying to peel away. Has that flame shot. Maybe could use it just to peel with the Dark Wave Lance on Lunalin. And that's Daiki with a shutdown. Still Sakoshi gunning them down from the back with Rhapsody, but Ramisi body blocks all of it. And now Huang is all alone. Daiki goes in with the jump. Ku, for some reason, jumps in with the AOG and will be taken now slowly but surely. That's a slow takedown. Mountain Chakra over. Rui decides to jump in. Daiki just goes and shoulder bashes her over. Now the rest of TL here. Rui gets a shutdown somehow against 5. But it ends up being TL with a massive win.
3-4-1 and TLPH definitely won the round. They managed to somehow trick Terror Queens onto using the AOG, who, in my opinion, didn't have to actually put her life on the lane. But Ramisi, on the other hand, focusing onto the Lord. Taiki dodging up the damage from Langrina.
That's the red tree from Ramisi, securing it, but a mount down over Lunalin and Sakoshi bursting through the front line.
We're getting multiple kills at hand here. Earlier on, we were saying this is kind of a slow game, but TQ, they don't think Sakoshi will be some kind of enough there. So Lunalin to the rescue as well. Chase down here for TLPH.
It's a pure brawl. Oh, what is that damage, Lunalin? Almost one-shotting Kla. You know, Athena, there's been so much action, but why don't you touch on the flame shot?
But more so, it's more on Langrina. Just giving most of the damage and then just finishing off with somehow adjusting onto the members here for TLP. She just wants to show them back. She just wants to buy some enough time, and even if the damage just isn't enough, the flame shot is there to actually finish off the round or finish off the HP bars here for TLPH. That's something might happen. Something might happen here. It's going to be distraction.
The traction pulse over. Spread to bring Daiki back, but TQ are very close by. Oh no.
Okay.
He's all alone right now. She's actually doing damage to him. And out there all alone. ISO flame shot. Not helping her there.
It's kind of for Rami. Very strong trio mid here for Zaishi, Soju, and Kla. As what TLPH is trying to do. So close there to actually taking that, in my opinion.
Rui Halang's all alone again. Isolated. So Has jumps in and will be able to go for another jump in front of pursuit over. Amisi with the chase over to Huang, and the chrono dash with the synchro fish and a claw is enough to take her down. We've got a total of 26 kills in game 2.
In favor of TLPH, but we do have to acknowledge here Langrina doing her best to somehow hand over members of TLPH to their core damage dealers, right? And looking at things are going right now, BOD lock item here for Rui, finally having the last spot here, whilst a brute force breastplate here for the glue here for Terra Queens. They just need a bit more onto the sustainability just so she could last longer and deliver a perfect silver platter dish here for TLPH.
Ooh, massive damage with a traction pulse, but Daiki turns it around in front of pursuit. No! Rui, Sky Piercer, shoots her down while she's on air. Sakoshi throws out the shots, able to go and thread the needle to get the immortality of Soji.